Good afternoon, it's time for Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today we'll join reporter Michelle Coates on the business beat to take a look at one local business and to see what they're doing to support our local economy. Then it's over to health reporter Stephanie Strong, who will bring us a very important report about pertussis. It's a highly contagious bacterial disease that causes uncontrollable violent coughing. And finally, we'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio for a discussion with his guest, Steve Sherrer, Votran's newly appointed General Manager. So, we'll hope you'll stick around for those segments, news and more, coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. For all of you eco-tourists out there, it's time to get out your fishing or your scuba gear. Recently, Volusia County's artificial reef Site 12, which is 9 nautical miles northeast of the inlet, just received a large deployment of clean construction materials, the first deployment this year. The artificial reefs are popular destinations for sport, charter, and commercial fishing and diving. The county made its first artificial reef in 1980 when it dropped a World War II cargo ship in 85 feet of water about 11 miles northeast of Ponce de Leon Inlet. Since then, the county has deployed a number of steel ships and barges and concrete structures into the Atlantic to form additional reefs. Volusia County Manager Jim Deneen says that the reef program is a major component in boosting ecotourism.
So we create this really dynamic environment on the bottom of the ocean. So first of all, what that does is it allows you to recycle material in a useful way. The next thing is it allows people that want to fish, whether commercial or recreational, the opportunity to fish. Number 3, for those people that just go out and want to see wildlife, it allows for a richer experience because you will see more wildlife at the surface, okay, because there's more wildlife in the area because of the nature of what's on the bottom. And then last but not least is the diving industry. With the artificial reefs there, not only do you see additional wildlife in the area and closer to the surface, you also see a lot of wildlife on the reefs. And a lot of divers like to see both the wildlife and to interact with the reef itself. And so what you're creating is an environment that's a win-win for everybody, for the environment, for recycling, for diving, for fishing, for the economy. We're really excited. I think this new program in the next 8 or 9 months will have worked in such a way as to double our reef system that we have, and it's set the stage for us to maybe consider having the best artificial reef system in the world.
Much of the reef material is provided to the county at no charge by concrete pipe and precast manufacturing firms. Funding for the artificial reefs will come from Volusia County's Port Authority reserves and will not affect property tax rates. For more information about Volusia County's artificial reefs, you can visit volusia.org/coastal. The construction of Volusia County's Emergency Operations and Sheriff's Communications Center is at the halfway mark. County staff recently joined with Ajax Building Corporation to celebrate the midpoint of the construction project and honor the workers who are building the facility on Tiger Bay Road west of Daytona Beach. The project has employed more than 300 construction workers, electricians, plumbers, and other trade workers. Now that the roof and exterior walls are up, construction workers can start working inside on the walls and the wiring that will provide the latest communications technology. The $21 million facility will serve as the county's public safety dispatch center and provide a centralized location for disaster response officials to make strategic decisions to protect the public during emergencies such as hurricanes, wildfires, and mass casualty incidents.
I think since both the Sheriff's Office and the Emergency Management Division have been involved in the process from the beginning, the ability to design our flow so that all things flow together much better than our old bunker. There are many things that I think are going to be improved efficiency-wise, but the biggest one is our flow. Setting it up so that people know where to go and they have easy access to those tools they need to be able to solve the problems we ask them to solve.
The county will apply for leadership in energy and environmental design, or LEED, certification from the U.S. Green Building Council to certify the building is environmentally responsible and a healthy place to work. The Emergency Operations and Sheriff's Communications Center is scheduled for completion in early 2013. It appears this will be an above-average year for sea turtle nesting on Volusia's beaches. According to most recent reports from Volusia County Environmental Management, a record 857 sea turtle nests have been identified on Volusia County beaches since May 1st, which is the official start of the summer nesting season. The previous high was 649 nests in 2008. Of these, 8 are leatherbacks, 24 are green sea turtle nests, and 1 a rare Kemp's Ridley nest. The remainder of the nests are made by loggerheads, historically the most common turtles to nest on Volusia County's beaches. According to Jennifer Winters, the county's Sea Turtle Habitat Conservation Plan Manager, this year's nesting is more active than the historical average of 450 nests per year.
Well, it's hard to really put our finger on why we have so many nests this year, but statewide the trend is very similar to what's happening here in Volusia County. And some people are suggesting that maybe some of the conservation efforts that were put into effect over 20 years ago are really, we're seeing the results of those efforts now. Because it takes sea turtles 25 to 30 years to reach sexual maturity. So all the protection efforts that we put in place, that long ago could now be coming to full circle.
Barring something unforeseen, such as a major storm, the number of nests on the beach is expected to increase through September. So far, 173 nests have hatched and more than 13,000 hatched eggs. For more information, you can log on to volusia.org and select Environmental Management from the drop-down menu.
Hello, I'm Joey Alexander with the Volusia County Council. Did you know we have a turtle and seabird rehabilitation center right here in Volusia County? Since opening in 2002, the Marine Science Center in Potts Inlet has cared for thousands of sick and injured sea turtles and birds and released many of them back to the sea. The Marine Science Center also has a touch pool, exhibit gallery, and areas where you can watch our specialists caring for marine animals. This unique center is next to the Potts Inlet Lighthouse. To learn more and plan your day trip, visit marinesciencecenter.com.
Volusia County is blessed with several businesses these days, and now we'll join Michelle Coates on the Business Beat, who will tell us about one local business that's booming.
Hi, I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat. Today we're here at the home of Roar Motorcycles for Women, which caters to the fastest growing segment of the motorcycle industry, women.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
The Motorcycle Industry Council found in a 2008 owner survey that women accounted for about 12% of motorcycle ownership in the United States, up from 9.6% in 2003. And women accounted for 23%, or 5.7 million, of the 25 million Americans who rode a motorcycle in 2008. Yet few businesses appear to be catering to this growing group of adventure-seeking women. Kathy Tollison, CEO of Roar Motorcycles for Women, is out to change that.
Roar is a motorcycle company that was established to help service the needs of women. Women are the fastest growing segment in the motorcycle industry.
The whole experience from buying it to learning how to ride it has been completely different than anything that I've ever done before.
We do customization, we do fitting. We also have designed a motorcycle just for women that we want to move into manufacturing, and we sell gear and everything just strictly for women.
My friend Steve, who initially was rather opposed to my coming to Roar, he said, just buy a bike. Met them, and he said, oh my God, these people really are different.
Many of us who live here in the heart of Bike Week know that stereotypical image of the hardened male road warrior with the tattoos and long hair is definitely changing. we're seeing a softer, edgy female version developing also. Women who have good jobs, marriages, education, and sophistication are venturing into the sport of motorcycling and discovering the lure of the highway.
Average age of a female rider is 42. Our demographics tend to run from like 45 to 65. We've had as old as first-time riders as 73. They're well educated. The average woman rider has at least 2 years of college.
According to the Motorcycle Industry Council, 56.7% of women motorcyclists are married, 28% have a college or postgraduate degree, and 35% of women motorcyclists hold a technical or professional job. For Tollison, motorcycles are an empowering symbol of freedom and adventure.
Part of my philosophy developed from childhood because I had a father who empowered me. I've taken that into Roar. It's always been something that, you know, I've had a heart to do. And so I always tell, even my team, I said, we don't just sell motorcycles, we empower women.
Linda is going to unwrap her bike, and I'll tell you, I will almost guarantee that she's going to cry.
Oh my God. Oh, is this comfortable?
The Roar staff of 7 includes a top-notch mechanic that worked with the Suzuki race team and happens to be a woman. The team prides themselves on making the Roar experience an exceptional one.
When women come to Roar, it's like a totally different experience. It's not just our motorcycles, it's our showroom. We have more of a boutique feel in our showroom. You're going to find that we really pamper you, we really take care of you. We don't only sell them bikes, we support them in the entire process. We're really champions of women.
Roar is about more than motorcycles and bike accessories. It's a place where women share stories, learn and laugh, and together make a difference.
Being a female rider on a motorcycle, very independent. It's very exciting, very liberating. You feel like you can do anything.
A portion of every membership in the Roar Sisterhood goes to support the Roar Global Foundation, which strives to reach oppressed women of the world through educational and entrepreneurial opportunities. Recently, the Roar Foundation purchased a moped to be used by the Destiny School, which houses 700 children in Uganda. Mopeds are the main form of transportation in Uganda and offers the school staff its only transportation option. Women bikers looking for a custom fit should check out Roar Motorcycles. They truly do cater to women and their unique motorcycle needs.
The next step for Roar is mass production of its custom-designed motorcycle, the Wildcat. Thanks for joining us today on The Business Beat. I'm Michelle Coates. And Roar Motorcycles has a new location. The business recently moved to a 15,000 square foot facility at 420 North Beach Street in Daytona Beach. The number of U.S. whooping cough cases, or pertussis, has risen to around 18,000 in an outbreak that is on track to become the most severe in over half a century. It could in part stem from possible waning vaccine protection, according to health officials. The Volusia County Health Department is monitoring a slight increase in reported cases of pertussis and has sent a health alert letter to the medical community to raise awareness. Health Department Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong has more about pertussis in this segment of Community Health Matters.
What is pertussis?
Pertussis, or whooping cough, is an upper respiratory infection. Starts out feeling like a cold with runny nose and sore throat, but after a couple weeks it develops into a very deep cough that will often last as long as 100 days.
Public service announcements like this one raise awareness to pertussis.
I'm Jeff Gordon, warning parents about pertussis. Imagine a cough barreling through your infant's body at up to 100 miles per hour, with enough force to make him gasp for air. Pertussis, or whooping cough, is potentially fatal, and it's most often spread by parents. Help protect your baby by protecting yourself. Ask about the adult pertussis vaccine as fast as you can.
Who should get vaccinated for pertussis?
certainly children should be vaccinated for pertussis, but we know now that actually the children are getting the pertussis from the adults. So it's now recommended strongly that adults, particularly adults who are taking care of infants, all be vaccinated and receive a booster for whooping cough.
Vaccination is the best defense against whooping cough. However, the protection from vaccines wears off over time, and few teens and adults receive booster vaccines to continue protection. As a result, pertussis continues to circulate, causing hospitalization and death of young infants who are too young to get their shots. The pertussis vaccine is safe for children and adults. Should pregnant women get vaccinated?
Because infants are so susceptible to whooping cough, it's important that all the adults around an infant be vaccinated. And the vaccination can be given preferably before pregnancy or after pregnancy, but it even can be given during pregnancy, during the 3rd trimester, to not only protect mom from whooping cough, but those antibodies that mom produces after vaccination will cross into the baby, and the baby then would be protected against whooping cough in the first few months of her life.
That's the sound of an infant with pertussis, or whooping cough. It's a potentially fatal disease. It's a sound no parent should ever hear.
For more information on pertussis, please visit www.cdc.gov. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Volusia County Health Department.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com. Well, now it's time to head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron, who will introduce us to Steve Sherrer, Volusia County's new Votran General Manager.
Thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. Votran, the county's public transit system, is the only transportation option for a good many of our citizens, and ridership is up on our public transit system. Votran has a new general manager. He's Steve Sherrer, and he comes to Volusia County from Lawton, Oklahoma, where he was the manager of the public transit system in that area, which, by the way, is near a big Army base. Steve joins us in the studio today. Steve, welcome to Volusia County. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Brand new to the job, brand new to Volusia County. Tell us a little bit about your background, Steve.
Well, I originally was born and raised in Texas. Went to college at Texas Tech University, where I started my career in public transportation. Worked for a transit system there called City Bus. Worked there in the evenings, and started my love of public transportation and my move up the ladder with City Bus. About 2 years I spent at City Bus, and then the company that I worked for, McDonald Transit, got a management contract in Lawton, Oklahoma. And so I was encouraged to throw my name in the hat as the general manager in Lawton. Lawton was a startup system. So before McDonald got the contract, they hadn't had public transportation in 30 years probably. So I moved to Lawton and had the opportunity to start up a new small transit system. Spent 10 years there as the general manager, and then this opportunity came up here in Volusia County with Votran, and I jumped all over that opportunity to interview, and
so here you are.
Here we are. Yeah.
So here you are. You're in Volusia County. As you said, you work for a company called McDonald Transit. A lot of people may not be aware that actually McDonald Transit runs a system for Volusia County. You're not actually a county employee.
That's correct. McDonald Transit is a transit management and consulting company, and we have contracts with different cities across the country to manage and operate their public transit systems. McDonald Transit has been the contractor here in Volusia County for decades. And so I come in after a long line of great leaders before me here at Votran, and I look forward to the opportunity to do a good job for Volusia County and for McDonald Transit.
What motivated you to seek out this position, Steve?
Well, I had spent 10 years in Lawton, and the system had become a great system, an award-winning system, and I saw the move to Votran as a career move. It was a great opportunity for me personally because it was a larger system. It was a system that was already well established, and very well seen within the community, and and I knew that it was going to be run well because of the people that had been there before me. And so I saw it as a great opportunity for me to expand my career.
Sure.
And to put some of my enthusiasm and energy to work at a system that would give me more of a challenge.
You know, one of the things that I know you know is that the ridership on Votran is on the increase, in fact, rather substantially. And as we know in Volusia County, Votran is pretty much a social service. Most of your riders are what you would call transit-dependent riders. They have no other options, and clearly I would suspect that the economy is part of the reason for that growth.
I would certainly think so. I mean, you're correct. Most of the folks that take advantage of Votran are people that don't have other transportation options. The issues that big cities have, like parking and the big traffic jams and those types of things, aren't necessarily the drivers for pushing people to public transit. These are folks that wouldn't be able to get to work, wouldn't be able to get to their doctor's appointments or to visit family or friends, to shop without Votran.
You're still very, very new to Volusia County, Steve, and I know that you're really just trying to figure out where everything is. But I'm curious as to the time that you've spent here, again, a short period of time, whether you have any early observations, A, about the community, or B, about Votran itself.
Well, we'll start with the community. I love the community so far. People have been, everybody that I've run into has been amazing, been really nice, helping me out, telling me where things are. It's been a great experience so far personally.
Good.
Professionally, I'm very impressed with Votran. The staff are amazing. They've been helpful to me, helping me to, like you said, understand the ins and outs of Votran. The operators, the dispatchers, everybody that I've run into has been very welcoming. And you know, the first question I ask everybody after I introduce myself to them, I say, well, how long have you been with Votran? And it's, you know, at first I was surprised because people would say, oh, 17 years, 20 years, 30 years, 35 years. I mean, these folks are people that have been with Votran for decades. And that tells me a lot about Votran. It's a good system, and the people that work there are good people, and they're hard-working people. So so far I've been very impressed with the community and with Votran.
And you mentioned something earlier which I agree and think is true, and that is Votran, I think, has a pretty well-established good relationship and a good reputation in the community. Is that what you've experienced as you've come in here as a newcomer?
Definitely, definitely. I think that the system itself and the image that Votran has created are a positive one. I think people look at the system as if it's successful, and it's money well spent when considering the funding sources.
You know, and that's another interesting observation you make, Steve. Obviously, Votran carrying a great deal of what you would call the transportation-dependent riders, those that you had articulated that have no other transportation options. Yet, Votran and the subsidy that occurs with public transit is funded out of the county's general fund, which means even if you don't ride Votran, if you're a taxpayer, you're paying into it. So that important recognition of the need for public transit, I think, is important for those people that are paying for it, because we're all paying for it.
Certainly, and without, you know, like I mentioned before, without those taxpayer dollars going to help fund the system, the 10,000 plus riders that Votran carries a day wouldn't be able to get out and work and be tax-paying citizens. They wouldn't be able to get out and get to their doctor's appointments, and all of those things would eventually cost the citizens and the taxpayers more, because those folks wouldn't be working and wouldn't be contributing to the hoppers.
Excellent point. You know, we're speaking about tough times. These have been tough times for local governments as well. You know, you've got a kind of a dynamic situation here where on the one hand you've got ridership on the increase and you got revenues that are constrained, or in fact in some cases even going down. As you've come in and taken a look at the lay of the land, the physical picture and so forth, Steve, any early thoughts as to how we approach this physical situation?
Well, I think, you know, first of all, it's the responsibility of Votran and all of its employees to be fiscally responsible.
Right.
I mean, we're using general fund dollars to fund a system that, like I said, provides service to over 10,000 customers a day.
Right.
But, you know, continued focus on making sure that expenses are responsible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's one thing that I've noticed from my staff is that nothing is purchased unless it's necessary.
Right.
And we're continually looking for ways to save money in operations.
Right.
Ways to tweak routes to make them more efficient. Ways to save $1 on fuel here, save money on manpower there.
Right.
But it is difficult. I mean, transit systems across the country are being asked to provide more service with less funding.
Right.
And so it's a constant challenge that we understand and that we expect to continue to have for some time to come.
Steve, as we close our interview today, you know, obviously you've got lots to think about, lots to learn, and you know, it's still very, very early in your time here. I'm just curious, as you look out for the next month, 2, 3, 6 months, a year, what are your thoughts as you move forward in the early part of your time here?
I'm looking forward to getting my hands wrapped around more of what Votran does on a daily basis. I continue to sit in on every meeting that I have an opportunity to be in.
Right.
And just continue to learn and continue to meet the good folks of Votran and the good folks of Volusia County.
Right.
And just start getting mixed in with the community.
Speaking about meeting the good folks in the community, obviously you have a number of community partners. You probably haven't had a chance to meet many of them at this point, but if there are groups or organizations out there, Steve, that perhaps would like to meet you, maybe have you make a brief presentation or have a meeting with them or that sort of thing, are you open to that at this point?
Oh, certainly. I think as much of that as I can fit into my schedule, I'd love to do.
So if people have questions, they have concerns, they have thoughts, how do they get a hold of you, or how do they get more information, Steve?
They can certainly call the Votran office.
Okay.
Visit the Votran website, votran.org, and we'll do everything we can do to help them out if they're trying to plan a trip, if they're just looking for general information about Votran. Give us a holler, look us up online, and we'll be glad to help you.
Well, I want to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us today. And again, welcome to Volusia County. Glad to have you.
Thank you very much.
And,
it's been a pleasure being here. I'm
sure that your first winter, which is not that far around the corner, is going to be a very pleasurable experience for you.
Oh, I can't wait.
Our guest today, Steve Sherrer. He's the new general manager at Votran Public Transportation. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the Volusia Magazine icon. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.